Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Well, guess what? It's a repeat of yesterday. Yep. I slept all night long. I slept 16 hours last night. And I feel so refreshed and so rejuvenated and so renewed today. I feel good. I don't know what happened yesterday. I got up early and I just ran and did this and did that and, drove all these places, and I came home. And then when I got home, I had told Tanya after I got done with my review of the farm place, the Wilson farm, I called Tanya and told her that I had bought her this, because when I went there, I bought her this strawberry rhubarb, no sugar added, homemade pie filler. Because the night before, or 2 nights before, whenever it was, when we were at the Meyer, Tanya bought this strawberry filling because she wanted to make a strawberry pie. Tanya loves to make pies and stuff. So when I went to this farm place, they had all natural, and she doesn't like to use a lot of sugar anyway. So I was like, oh, this is perfect, right? And I was real excited. So she's like, are you gonna bring it over to me now? And I was like, she was trying to get out of the kennel by 1 o'clock, and I was like, yeah, but I'm got a bunch of stuff to do. And so I was like, well, screw it, I'll just run over there now. So I ran over, hung out with her. Then I came home, got home about 1:30, started putting up a bunch of other stuff. I was so tired that I ended up laying down at 3 o'clock. I slept till 6. I think I just slept too much in the last 2 days is what the problem was, because I slept till 6. Then Alex came home, and I didn't want to film any more videos when he was home because I wanted him to be able to relax. So we sat there. I got some noodles and company, and I ended up eating only half of it. And we watched the last episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and they were just sitting there kind of talking and stuff. And I was like, I am still so tired. So I ended up laying down about 9 o'clock. He came to bed about 11. And then I was like, I'm just gonna sleep another hour. And I woke up in the middle of the night, it was 3, and I was like, when Alex goes to work in the morning, I'll go do my vlog. And I woke up to move my car, and then I went back to bed, and I ended up waking up at 1 o'clock. So it was 15 or 16 hours that I slept. I must have needed it, I don't know. And I slept deep. I was telling him I had this dream when I was napping before I went to bed, which was really kind of the whole thing, that I was on this game show, and he and 2 of his friends from college came to root me on, and were telling me, anyway, they were in the audience rooting me. It was this game show that I had the weirdest dreams anyway. So yeah. But I had fun yesterday doing different stuff. I had fun going and doing the different reviews and driving around. I finished my book yesterday. Was it yesterday that I finished the book? The Dorinda Jones book. I did a booktube video yesterday, and then I never put it up because I fell asleep. And it was uploading while I was putting it up. I finished the Dorinda Jones book, Bad Day for Sunshine, and I started this new book. I don't know who it's by. I can tell you because it's right over here. It's by, no, the music came up. It's called Magical Midlife Madness, I think. And it is about this woman, and her husband leaves her, or they get divorced. She wants to get divorced too. And her son goes to college, and so she moves in with her parents. But then her friend offers her this position. It's a series too. Her friend offers her this position to go and be the caretaker for this big house that they used to go to when they were kids. It's in her family, and it's something about she's the heir of this house because she is got magic in her. She's a witch or something, I don't know, but she is not aware of it. It's real funny. And I listened to the first hour and a half of it. I really, really like it. So that was what I did yesterday. I mean, I just had such a blah kind of relaxing day, but it was so nice. I didn't do anything super exciting. And I'm going to vlog now for not super long, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to film. I have 2 drama videos I have to post that I'm going to film. One I have to pull in here for a second and just see something about. And then I'm going to do a Peterisms video. I have a booktube video already planned. And I don't think I'm going to do... I already did my review video today. I reviewed the Trick or Treat Frappuccino. And got my coffee at Starbucks. It's a good day so far. And Alex works late tonight. And yeah, I'm just going to try to get my stuff done and that I'm wanting to get done today. And maybe... Oh, I read a bunch of the Lemony Snicket book too. I'm almost done with that. I'm like 75, 80% done with that book. I sat outside and read a bunch of it yesterday while the dogs were outside playing around in the yard. Today it's 63 degrees and it is like a beautiful fall day outside. I kind of like this weather. Like, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Maybe it was when I was talking to Tanya. That if it's not like 85 and I can't be next to the pool, then I would rather have it be like this. Where it's like blustery outside and windy and leaves on the ground and like Halloweenish. Happy Halloween, by the way, October 1st. But this is September 30th vlog, so we won't act like it's October 1st yet. I think tonight I'm going to try to film my vlog like early. Like I'm going to try to go at like 10 and go film my vlog and then go to bed early. It's probably what I just need to start doing anyway. Dream. Oh, I also started watching the Chris Watts documentary last night on Netflix. And I watched like half of it. That was what I did when I was eating my lunch. I ate my... Oh, I finished... I bought this like broccoli cauliflower salad from that farm place. And I ate that and some Swiss cheese and one of my donuts that I did on my donut review. And I watched the Chris Watts documentary, like an hour. Well, I like the first half of it, like 45 minutes. It was really good. It's very cohesive of how they have all the information together, and they have like a lot of, I mean, it's really nothing that I didn't already know, but they have like the police footage from when they went to the house the first time, and then when they had like the cadaver dogs come in, the canines, and then like the neighbor going to look at the neighbor's video. They have it like all together, and then they have it intermixed with like Shanann's Facebook clips. So it's a documentary really told with like all of these past clips of things that had happened in the investigation. Like if you've never watched any of the YouTube videos, you've never watched any of the, you know, if you don't know anything about the case, like the documentary is extremely cohesive about how it puts it all together. But if you do know a lot about the case, it makes it even more interesting because they have it kind of like very like timelined out. They have like footage from their wedding. They've taken a lot of this stuff off of her Facebook page. You know, it's interesting because in the book, they talked about how hard she worked to like buy her and build her first own house. Man, that was a house. I had never seen pictures of it before, but they show it in the documentary. I mean, it was a really, really nice house. The first house, it was not, I thought it was nicer than the house that they lived in when he killed everybody. She had built this house of her own and sold it when she was still in, I believe that's when she was still in North Carolina or South Carolina or wherever she's from originally. But the house was beautiful. And she like really prided herself on like saving the money and building that house on her own. And then Wentworth, oh my God, what is this? Can we not get through? I guess I can't get through here. Can I go around? And then Wentworth came back. I don't know what is going on here. They're doing some major construction or something. Oh, they're letting people through though. Why didn't I just go through them? That was stupid. And then Wentworth is back on Netflix, which I want to watch that. I should have just gone through where I went. Why did I do this? This was stupid. Well, I did surpass all that, but we're passed by all that. I didn't think we could get through there. And then there's something else that just came out that I wanted to see. Because Tanya texted me last night. I woke up to like 2 texts. She was like, Wentworth. Wentworth. Those were the 2 texts that she sent me. I was like, yes, Tanya Jean, I know, Wentworth, oh my God. But I kind of don't want to watch it because I know that there's a new character that comes back and I'm just going to be like, ugh. Well, it's not a new character that comes back. It's an old character that comes back. And she's like, I just wish they would have just been done with that storyline. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but if you watch Wentworth, you know what I'm talking about. It's the old warden. Which how they're gonna make that storyline happen is gonna be very like, you know, The Bold and the Beautiful, or what's the show that my grandma and I used to watch back in the day? All My Children, One Life to Live, and General Hospital, very General Hospital, or you know, of 1985, where, you know, what was the one where that woman, like, she flushed that toilet, or she flushed that bomb down a toilet and everybody thought she was dead? It's gonna be like one of those kind of deals, you know what I mean? Do you remember that? That was The Young and the Restless, I think. I didn't watch that, but I knew about it because my grandma, she read that Soap Opera Digest. She loved her Soap Opera Digest. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I have no idea how I'm gonna get out of here because this construction thing that they were doing over there has now like moved and it's like right in front of here. So I'm gonna have to go through, oh my God, and then somebody's coming out. Welcome to my life. It's just another manic Thursday, oh Lord. Those little smart cars scare the hell out of me. There's one right in front of me. They scare me so much because, I mean, can you imagine? Like, first of all, one of my biggest fears in life is, let's talk about fears. Okay, my biggest fear ever, if you didn't know, do you know? Most people know what my biggest fear ever is. My biggest fear ever in life is sharks. Not even being eaten by a shark. I mean, that is probably the end all most terrifying ever. But like, I'm really, really terrified of just like being in the water with sharks, like even just like a shark being anywhere near me. I could be literally have my feet in like an inch of water on the beach and I could see a dorsal fin like 300 feet away and I would be terrified. I'd be like, ah! I'm like, what is with all these big construction truck things today? So anyway, that's my that's my biggest fear, sharks. End of story. But I'm also like obsessed with sharks. Like, I read everything about sharks. I love Shark Week on TV. I love all the Jaws movies. I'm obsessed with the Jaws movies. Like, I know everything about them, all the characters, how they were made, and everything. So anyway, I even have like this book that somebody sent me and then a book that I bought about the making of Jaws, and then I had the documentary on the making of Jaws, and I've just like been obsessed with it forever. So anyway, there's that. But then one of my next biggest fears is, and I talked about this on here not too long ago, are semis. I don't like semis. I don't like driving next to them on the interstate. I kind of like don't, like if I'm on an interstate like in Indiana, where like I'm out in the country, if that makes sense, and I can pull off onto the side of the road, I'm totally fine. Like, that doesn't bother me then. I have to know that I have like an out. Like, in Indiana, you can pull off on the side, right? I mean, you're not supposed to necessarily always, but you can if you have to, right? But what I don't like is when you're going through like the city and they have those cement walls up like on the interstate, like when I drive through like Nashville, I hate driving through Nashville, Tennessee, not Indiana. There is actually a Nashville, Indiana, and it's beautiful and it's small and it's Brown County. It's like right next to where Indiana University is in Bloomington. But I, like, don't like where they're, like, going, like, 80 miles an hour, and you're lane, I mean, it's everybody's packed together, and I'm like this the whole time, scared to death. I think it probably comes from when I was a little kid. There was this girl in our neighborhood who, I talked about this on here not too long ago, that was killed by a she and 2 other people. I think it was 2 other people, might have been 3 other people, I don't know. They were in a driver's ed class. Can we just look at these leaves for a second and look at these trees, how beautiful they are? I am just blown away by how beautiful the trees are in Indiana this year. But anyway, it was a driver's ed, she was like the only one that I kind of knew because she was from our neighborhood. And her younger sister, I think, I was in school with. But they were like in a driver's ed car and like a 7-Up semi. Like they got smashed between like a 7-Up semi and like another truck. Like they were smashed between 2 semis. And I just think of that every time I see a smart car. I don't know why. They like to terrify me. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway. I don't have really a whole lot of interesting stuff to share today because my day yesterday was basically spent with me in bed sleeping. Which in all honesty sounds like a complete waste of a day, but it was really kind of nice to catch up on some rest. So I don't know. And now I'm going to go home today and I've got 2 drama videos I want to film, a Peterisms video. I felt like I had like so many videos to film, but that's it. I've already filmed my review video. I'm gonna get my vlog up, and then I want to listen to a bunch of this book, and I want to watch. Well, I want to finish the Chris Watts documentary first, and then once I finish the Chris Watts documentary, I'm gonna start watching Wentworth, I think. I should watch an episode of that Lovecraft Country. Because I know it's going to happen if I don't watch it, then they'll start taking them down. Oh, it's on HBO though, isn't it? So, like, they'll be up on HBO. They won't take them down, right? Like, they don't take them down off of HBO, I don't think. So, I have a while before I can't watch them over there. Just another manic on Thursday. Oh no. I wonder what Halloween's gonna be like. I was talking to my sister-in-law because she said that they're not doing trick-or-treating. Like there is no trick-or-treating this year. So I was asking her, like, but there are places that have it, like churches are doing like outside, which I don't know how that's any different. And then she was saying something about having to clean off the candy, and so I don't know what they're gonna do. But like Carlitos was sitting there when she was having the conversation, and he understood it. Like he understood that, like why they couldn't do trick-or-treating this year, you know? But I was asking them what they were going to dress up for. And now it's cute because, like, Carlitos and Sebastian are just, like, the best of friends. It is so sweet. And so, like, everything that Carlitos likes, Sebastian likes. And so, like, Carlitos, I asked him, I said, so what are you going to dress up for, like, as on Halloween? And I can't remember what he said. It was something like, I really don't remember. I don't know. I honestly, it's not even that I don't remember. It's that I didn't know what it was. It was some kind of ninja. It's something ninja that he watches. It's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was real into those for a while. It's not that. It's something else. Spy Ninjas or something. It's some show he watches on YouTube. I've never heard of it. But he's like, I'm dressing up as like whatever, this spy ninja or something. And then so I said to Sebastian, I said, well, what are you going to be for Halloween? And he said, I'm going to be a spy ninja. Whatever. I mean, basically whatever Carlitos is into, he's into. It's so sweet. And because I said to Carlitos, I said, well, what do you want for Christmas this year? What do you want Santa to bring you for Christmas? And he was, I can't remember what he said. But then as soon as I asked, oh, no, I do remember what he said. So over it. My battery died. I didn't even know that it was low. And I had to turn down here. Oh my God, there's a school bus right behind me. I had to pull down the street, which I don't see anywhere to turn around. This school bus is like literally tailing me. I have no idea where I'm at. What was I talking about? I don't even remember now. Is it like time for school to be out? Here, I'm gonna turn down here. Is this school bus turning with me? No, he passed me by. Oh, I was talking about what Carlitos wants for Christmas. Oh, okay, so this was so funny. So I was asking Carlitos, I was like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want Santa to bring you this year? And he goes, I want a gift card. And I go, a gift card? And he was like, yeah, I want a gift card. I think for his like PlayStation, or I don't know what it is. Whatever his gaming system he plays. He wants a gift card just for that. And I said, and I looked at him, and I said, well, that doesn't seem like a lot of fun. And it was so sweet. And he goes, T.O. Peter, he goes, I'm the only one in the whole family that's never gotten a gift card. Just so to put this in perspective, our family is like huge in gift cards, okay? Like literally that's what we give everybody, okay? Like I always get a gift card from Liliana and Carlos, and so does Alex. And like Alex and I give Carlos and Liliana gift cards, and we get our like I get my mother-in-law, you know, it's like everybody gives everybody gift cards. And he looked at me and he goes, even Sebastian has gotten a gift card. And Sebastian said, I've gotten a gift card. And I was like, you've never gotten a gift card? And he was like, I've never gotten a gift card. And Liliana was standing there, and she said, he just keeps on talking about this gift card that he's never gotten. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So that'll be what I'll be getting him a gift card for Christmas. He said, all I need is $10 for some gaming thing or something. But anyway, so I can't believe that we're even talking about Christmas, but here it is, fall. Look at these trees. Can we just talk about the trees here in Indiana? Gorgeous. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you, coming up here on, I'm trying to think of how you're looking at it. Well, it's over this way. I don't know what that would be to you right now. Your left, if you're looking at it, I don't know, with the camera. The opposite direction than the school bus just turned, but is Conner Prairie. Do you see these leaves? I mean, they have changed already. They are so pretty. So over here I'm thinking it will be, I don't know which way it'll be on the camera, but anyway, straight ahead kind of. The side of the street that the school bus is coming down. Okay, this is Conner Prairie over here. Do you see this wood fence? And Conner Prairie is the prairie settlement. I wish you could, okay, you can kind of, if you look back in there, you can see some of the settlement houses back in there. And this is the, where we used to go when I was a kid. And they also do this Sleepy Hollow thing here, which it'll say here just in a second because it has a big sign out for it. I love this place. Does it say Sleepy Hollow? Behold, the legendary Headless Horseman. Yeah, they're still having it this year. So that's interesting. I don't know how they're doing that. But they have like a, what do you call it? They have like a hayride, and then you go out there and like the Headless Horseman chases you and stuff like that. It's really fun. And that was where we used to go when I was, I mean, look at this. It is just beautiful. I just cannot get a... I know you guys are probably like, Peter, we don't care, but I just am like taken away with how beautiful it is. That's where we used to go on field trips when I was a kid. And I loved it so much. Except for one year we went there, and I remember I didn't have any friends or anything. And I had to sit at this long table. I somehow got lost from the group after this. I don't really remember the whole story. I told it on here not too long ago. But I remember I sat and ate at a table all by myself because I didn't have any friends when we went on the field trip. And kids can be so mean, you know? you don't even have to like somebody to maybe include them in something and make them feel like, you know, they matter or are important. I don't know. It was always so different for me, you know, like when I would come home from school, it's like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's that all of our friends, you know, all of our parents were friends, or if they were told just to, like, you know, not pick on Peter, or if in the neighborhood it didn't matter or whatever, you know, but like, because you would think that like bullying would occur like on the street too, but it never did. It never did. I mean, like I've told these stories on here millions of times, right? But like, how I was in my neighborhood, if I was like, I don't even want to say effeminate. I was, but I was like such a toned down version at school. Like, I knew that who I was on my street walking around with my girlfriends would not fly at school. Like, I knew that, right? And so I was like such a toned down version. Like on the street, I mean, I was literally like, when I talk about the lip gloss, and I was thinking about how like I always had like, I had this little coin purse thing too. It's like this leather coin purse thing that you like squeeze like that and it went up. Do you remember those? I always kept like quarters in there and like $1 in case we went to McDonald's or the ice cream came on the street. I always had this like spare, like this change thing. And we kept fanny packs. I had a fanny pack back in the day, like when we would walk around and go up to the street. We used to go to this place called Reasoner's Drugs and stuff. And then I had those, do you remember those things that were like metal like this? Somebody sent me these not too long ago, and you could slide them either way, and like one way would be, sometimes they were all like just one flavor of a lip, like a lip balm, but sometimes they were two flavors, and you could slide them one way and it would be like vanilla, and the other side would be like root beer. Do you remember that? And they were like in gold metal things. I always had those, but I always had like a Bonnie Bell lip gloss with me, and it was like cotton candy or Dr. Pepper, and it had like the metal roll ball on the top of it. And I always kept it in this little pocket that I had because I wore these shorts when I played in the neighborhood. They had little pockets in them, and I can remember I would keep it in there. And I had like perfectly feathered hair. Like, people laugh when I like do this or tuck my hair because I had long hair for so long that I always think that, you know, but like I don't think that ever goes away to some degree. Like, I still sometimes tuck the hair behind my ears, even though I haven't had long hair for 25 years. But like when I was a little kid, I had like bangs like straight across that were feathered back. I mean, I can remember being so, like, my dad, I can remember, I just think about this and I think, my dad was such a cool dad, right? Like, I can remember being like 8 and 9 and my dad being like, come on, we have to go to dinner. And I was like in the bathroom, like chomping gum. I chomped gum like nobody's business. It like wore my dad out. Like Bubblicious, I loved. Like all of that, I mean, Hubba Bubba, that baseball gum, you know, that was shredded. Do you know what I'm talking about? That something league baseball gum, whatever. I was obsessed with that. But anyway, I chewed gum like nobody's business. And I can remember like being like in the mirror and like chomping gum and like feathering my hair back perfectly and hairspraying it. And my dad would be like, Peter, come on. And I'd be like, Dad, hold on a second. I have to get this feather just right. And I would be like spraying this feather, you know, like... Oh my Lord, the 70s and the early 80s were some of the best years ever. But you know, like, nobody cared. Like, none of my family, their friends, and our friends on the street, nobody cared. Like, nobody treated me differently, you know? And I think, in all honesty, like, that is what built the foundation for me being who I am today, and allowing me to, like, I was able to be too much. I mean, I talk about that today, you know? And I think that that really allowed me to be too much back then, which then, it's a pretty Honda Accord. I'm not like a big Honda Accord person, but that's a pretty one. I think that, that allowed me to kind of grow up and realize that even though kids at school made fun of me, and a lot of teachers too, teachers would make fun of me indirectly, but like inside of me, I knew that who I was okay, because my parents' friends, the kids on the street, they never made me feel any different. Never. I don't ever I was always included in everything on our street. Like, and I was probably one of the more popular people on our street, you know, out of 10 or 15 kids. I was probably one of the, so I don't know that I ever remember. I mean, me and my good two Judys, we ran that street. We did. Oh my God. It was my two girls, Jessie and Katie. We ran that street. I don't know. And you know, like, I grew up in a neighborhood too where, like, if somebody had been mean to me, like, I think, like, the parents would have, like, made sure that, like, everybody was talked to about it. Like, and maybe they were, and I just wasn't aware of it. But I think, like, that would have been a conversation. You know what I mean? That would have been had where, like, the kids would have been told, like, we're not going to treat Peter any differently. I mean, I grew up with a lot of people on my street, they all worked together. My dad worked, but he didn't live there, like, you know, after that. But I think even just the fact that there were 3 or 4 dads in the street that all worked for the same hospital corporation that my dad did, and they all knew each other. I think they kind of kept an eye out for me a little bit, you know? They definitely kept an eye out for my mom. I think she always was, like, so worried about being a single mom and how people would look at her, but I don't think people really ever did look down on her, even though I think if she were sitting here, she'd say, oh, that's just absolutely not the case. I think they did. But I don't know. Like, I just think that I can remember several situations where the fathers seemed very protective of me. And weren't gonna let any crap go down. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember a couple of situations like that. And we're always really, really nice, you know? And I think the other thing was that, you know, from June 1st, let's say, to the end of August, to September 1st, I think kids kind of forget sometimes, you know? Maybe I didn't really remember how different I was until school started. And I always remember every year when school started, I got excited about school clothes and stuff like that. And maybe I always had such hope. Like, I think that's the one thing that I had, that when I hear a lot of these stories was so different about me, and I don't really know where it came from, because I never had conversations with my parents where they were like, this year is going to be different. This year is going to be the best. You're going to be treated so differently. Like, I never had any of those conversations. But I remember going into each year thinking to myself, this year is going to be different. Like, I'm going to make a lot of friends this year, or I'm going to have a really great, like, homeroom. I always got excited about, you know, school clothes shopping, and I just was like, this is going to be a different year. It's going to be a really great year, and it never was. You know, 6th grade was, like, the only year that I had that was really fantastic, and that was because that was, like, a merging of the elementary schools. And I think everybody was so into, like, who's the new boy, who's the new girl, meeting each other, you know, being boyfriends, girlfriends, making new friends. Everybody, it was new, right? So there was really none of that, like, carryover from my elementary school. And then 7th grade was when I was just kind of forgotten, you know, and I talk a lot about how 7th and 8th grade were really, really hard for me. And then I think, you know, 9th grade, 8th and 9th grade is when, you know, we start realizing who we like and crushes, and, like, that becomes, like, a really big deal, you know, and a lot of people are really, like, seriously dating and stuff like that. And I think then that's why I think in, like, 9th grade, I was noticed as being kind of like the freak again, you know what I mean? Like, the one that didn't fit in. But, like, 7th and 8th grade, like, nobody paid any attention to me. Like, I was just, like, I had literally no friends. None. I had, like, one friend. But he was real busy with stuff, so, like, I never saw him hardly ever. And then my girlfriends, like, they all went there. I was actually talking to, because the 2 girls that I was friends with in 6th grade, that we were, like thick as thieves, like, really, really good friends. Like, I actually talked to her not too long ago, and I said something about, I was like, yeah, and then you guys completely ignored me and acted like I didn't exist. And she was like, did that happen? And I go, yeah, that happened, because she and I are friends today. And I'm not friends with the other girl. I have I don't know anything about her. She lives in another state. I do know about her. I mean, she lives in another state and whatever. I haven't talked. I saw her at the 20-year reunion, and I haven't talked to her since then. And I talked to her just briefly, and she was real phony-ish. She was like, so, what do you do? I was like, girl, listen, I don't have time for this. But anyway, I was real nice to her anyway. But the other girl and I are really close friends today. And I said to her, I said, like, you guys all got stuff, boyfriends and everything that was more important to you, and you couldn't care less about me anymore. And she's like, I just don't really, and she was like really apologetic about it. She was like, I just really don't remember that. I'm so sorry. And I was like, I mean, it is what it is. It happened, you know, like 40 years ago. But she was like, well, she was like, it's a big deal, obviously, if you still remember it. And I said, I do remember it. I said, it's not a big deal to me today, but I said it's a big deal for me when I remember that, so I know how, when I treat other people, you know, like, I don't want to, I mean, okay, it was 7th grade, but it's also like, I think that if I'm going to leave a friendship or I'm going to walk away, those people deserve to know why. Like, those people deserve to understand, like, what happened, or let's reconcile, or let's make up, or something. Because a big part of it for me was, one second I was having 2 of the closest friends I'd ever had in my entire life, and the next second we go back to school for 7th grade and nobody's talking to me. And I didn't get it, and I didn't understand it, and I was young and naive, and I just didn't understand, you know, I just didn't understand at all. And, anyway, it is what it is, you know. But I love when I hear, like, adults say things like, well, they're just kids, or whatever, and I'm like, you know, and I've grown a lot, and I think I realized today that I wouldn't be the person that I am had I not gone through what I went through. So, to some degree, I'm thankful for it, or at least that's how I make sense of it. But when, you know, you hear people, especially adults, say, I mean, I cannot tell you how many adults in authoritative positions, teachers, deans, and counselors, and principals even, tell me to just get over it, or, you know, like, it's just not that big of a deal. When we sit there and we talk about foundation years of development, those were my foundation years of development, and I had adults telling me, in positions where they should have known better, what you're like, well, are you provoking them? I mean, you're sitting there looking at a kid that, first of all, is so quiet as a mouse because he's terrified. You know, I mean, I never was, I mean, I think people would find it really hard to believe when I was in high school that I would have ever ended up being like in a channel where I talk and whatever. I was quiet. I was scared to death of my own shadow. There was only a handful of times that I ever stood up and said something for myself. My friends did it for me. I didn't have to, you know. But, you know, I got this one dean at my high school. I don't know why. I don't know if he just was a homophobe or what. He didn't like me or whatever. But whatever happened, it was always my fault. You know, I was provoking somebody. I was doing this. I was like, and I can remember sitting there thinking, like, literally about to, like, bawl my eyes out. Because if you've ever been in a position where you've gone through something horrific, like been embarrassed in a group of people, like 30 students, okay? Like, absolutely embarrassed. And then, even though it has nothing to do with you, you didn't start it, it's because somebody in the back of the room called you a name, okay? The teacher sends both of you to the dean's office, which, why I was there, I'll never know, okay? That was another thing teachers should never have done, is, you know, oh, so this kid over here who's an a-hole decides to call me a name in a class, and the whole class is laughing, and I didn't do anything but just be there, and then the teacher says, you two go to the dean's office, when I had nothing to do with that. Now I'm sitting in front of the dean, and the dean's talking to the kid about why he's calling me this name. The kid's like, yeah, whatever, and gets absolutely no punishment. And then when the kid walks away, the dean is asking me, did you provoke him? Well, what did you say? Why did he? I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, I was going on and I started talking about this. I said this one dean's name, and I don't even know if he's alive anymore, but I'm not gonna. It is what it is. I think it's that, you know, Peter inside of me from being that age that still comes out and gets heated about all of that stuff, you know? I don't know, it just makes me sad, and I'm very thankful that I came home to somewhat normality. You know, then I had my mother, who is, you know, an active alcoholic. I don't know how I don't really know. I mean, I think of myself today, honestly, like in my quietest moments, I think, well, you're a pretty strong person. Like, you made it through a lot. And, you know, that's why when people reach out to me and I'm like, you've made it through so much, you can make it through so much more, you know, and like, that would be my message to any of you out there. You know, like, don't ever give up. You've made it through so much in your life, no matter what your story is, and all of our stories are different, you know, like, we've each made it through. I think it's what you do with it, you know? I think if it's, do you choose to use those things and treat people differently, or, you know, learn from it and whatever, and like, that's what I try to do with it today, you know? I don't know. How did I get on this? Oh, because I was talking about Connor Prairie and sitting there by myself, and see, like, that little thing that people think, like, you should just get over, that doesn't matter, still sticks with me. I mean, I bet I was at that time 6 years old. 42 years later, I'm still thinking about it when I drive by there. Like, that's the memory that sticks out there. Now, I also think about the time that Alex and two friends of ours went there, and you know, Tanya and I went there, and I mean, my mom and I used to go to that thing. I mean, I think of all those times too, you know, but like, it's all just a big bag of memories, I think, and what you pull out that day, you know. And someday the memory can be good, and someday the memory can be hurtful. I think there's also a lot of things that happen to us in life that, like, you can't really make sense of, that just happen. And, you know, it's like, not everything you can turn into this, you know, like, learning experience. Not everything that happens to us in life, or not everything that occurs in our lives, is there for a reason. Not everything. And I'm a believer that things happen to us in our lives for reasons, that there's lessons to be learned. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, look at this cornfield, you guys. It's so beautiful, isn't it? I mean, forever. But at the same time, that doesn't mean everything. That doesn't mean that everything that happens to us in our lives makes sense, you know? Anyway, which is why I think I believe a lot today in, like, choosing to have good days, and choosing, you know, not to be stuck and all of that. So today I am choosing to have a good day. So I'm gonna get off here now, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna film these drama videos, my Peterisms video, because I didn't film Peterisms video yesterday. I want to do that. I'm gonna film all that and get this vlog up and going, and then I will try to do a longer vlog tonight. And I just cannot, you guys, I mean, these trees are just unbelievable. This might be one of the prettiest years of fall that we've ever had in Indiana. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I wonder why it is. I wonder why the leaves, like, they're progressively changing, and they're just so beautiful this year. I'm so thankful for that. I love it. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday. Unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something today that'll make you happy. Do something today that will make yourself proud when you look back on it. If you liked this video vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. And, let's see, what else? If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please think about subscribing. And I'm just gonna tell you that I love you. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation. Don't forget, you can start your day over whenever you want, just like this. You just say, I'm gonna start my day over right now. Practice random acts of kindness, but don't tell anyone, and let somebody know today how much they mean to you. And I love you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you later tonight, but I'll be posting that tomorrow. So anyway, love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!